Hi, it's Deanna, and tonight I wanted to show you an antique doll that's German, and it was made sometime between 1880 and 1890. It was made by J.D. Kestner of Waltershausen, Germany, who began making paper mache and wooden dolls and toys as early as 1816 and was in business till about 1938. In 1860, they began making wax over paper mache dolls, and by 1860, they began to produce China and Bisque head dolls. This particular one is a Bisque head doll, and she has little teeth, as you can see there. It might creep you out if you don't know very much about antique dolls. And yeah, the teeth pretty much creep a lot of people out. Also, these glass eyes that you see here. The glass eyes look so realistic that a lot of people swear these dolls are haunted. Now, I've never had any haunts or paranormal things happen in my house so far, but I never say never. So, nonetheless, this doll is a shoulder head doll. Now, they had made some dolls with swivel heads that moved when you moved them with your hand. This particular one is a fixed head on a leather body, and the leather is made out of kid, which is a goat, and there you see it, and it has like little divots in the knees so she can be bended into a seated position. The doll is stuffed with sawdust, as you can see some of the sawdust falling out of it. This is her original dress made out of satin with feather stitching on the bottom, and her hat is actually original to her as well. I think that's quite interesting. Look at all the workmanship that went into making this dress. Her hands are made out of bisque, and her shoulder and head is made out of bisque as well. And the rest of her body is kid leather. She is missing her shoes. She has her original undergarments on. As you can see, really, really intricate lace work on here. Quite interesting. She has her antique slip as well. Wow, she's losing a lot of sawdust right now. And these dolls do spring leaks. They are really old. So over time, like the leather gets really soft and they start to lose some of the sawdust. Yeah, here's her original, like she has pantaloons, which were ladies' like panties back then. They had to wear clothes from like head to toe, even in the summer. And she has her original socks here. They look quite gnarly. This particular one has no mold number. And generally they had mold numbers, and you can identify like around what time they were made that way. But this is an earlier version before the mold numbers came out. And I don't feel like taking the hat off, but I believe she has actually a letter on the back of her head. Some of them had just a number, one-digit number, or a letter. And depending upon the size of the doll, the higher the number or the letter denoted a larger or taller doll. So as you can see, look at all the hand painting that went into making this doll. Her face is all hand painted. She has feathered eyebrows. And that's quite interesting. Now, the funny part is when I was a little girl, I hated dolls. I refused to have one. And when people gave them to me as a gift, I would make my mother give them away to charity because I just hated them and I thought they were all creepy. And now the funny part is I collect them. So I find that quite interesting that now I just love dolls. And this is what's known as a turned shoulder head. Generally, a lot of these shoulder head dolls, they look straight at you, but her head is slightly turned towards one side, as you can see here. So this is a really interesting old doll that was made about 1880 to 1890 with her original dress. And you can see how beautiful it is. It's like almost like a silky taffeta material. I'm not an expert on materials, but as you can see, it's like an off-the-shoulder gown with pretty ruffles. Maybe I can see the markings on the back of her neck, but this is how basically the kid leather-bodied dolls were made. You can see the bisque shoulder and then the leather and stuffed body attached. And then the back of the head. Let me try to get under the wig to show you. I don't feel like taking it off because it's a real pain to put everything back together. So that's what she looks like from behind. And then let me turn it to the front again. And so her wig is not original. I actually purchased a mohair replacement wig. A lot of the wigs really fall apart over past 100 years. They just like really get disheveled and fall apart and start to shed, actually like a dog. And so I replaced it with a high quality wig that was probably the type of wig that she originally wore at the time. So once again, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up and subscribe.